A couple things. First of all, regarding the third assistant spot, and I don't even like to do it first, second, third assistant, just assistant coaches. We're obviously waiting per the Board of Regents approval, but once that gets approved, Luke Walton will be named as our new assistant coach. We're really excited about it. When you're talking about a guy that's been he's been with the Lakers for 8 years and has been part of 4 NBA Finals, 2 rings, been part of in the huddle with Phil Jackson, who's arguably one of the greatest coaches in all of sports. You're right there with Kobe Bryant, one of the great, in the history of the NBA game, and he wants to coach. He wants to make a difference. He's really excited about this. He's going to be able to come in and help with the bigs. He's going to be able to help right away. I mean, it's going to be great. The other thing is, people said, hey, why did you make this hire? And before I even get to that, the other thing is he is here as long as the lockout goes. So if the lockout's the whole season, he's on staff the entire season. If the lockout ends whatever date, he's going to then officially resign and go back to the NBA. He's still got 2 years left on his contract. He does want to coach when he's done playing. But for us, I felt this was what was best for our guys right now, to have the opportunity to develop and give us the opportunity to win at a high level. You're bringing a guy who's, like I said, with the wealth of experience that he's had, it's unmatched. You go around the country and you're recruiting so much, and they're always talking about these guys all want to have an opportunity to play at the next level. And since I didn't play in the NBA, as you can tell by my looks, and I didn't coach in the NBA, I figured the next best thing was let's go get everyone on my full-time staff. I got them from the NBA, and Luke Walton, Damon Stoudemire, Jack Murphy from the Advanced Scout with the Nuggets. Heck, Eric Sebastian, my director of basketball, was with the Denver Nuggets in the media relations department. So, we've surrounded ourselves, with good people, high basketball IQs, and it's going to be great for player development as well too. So, I think this is terrific, and one of the things, how the irony of it all is, with Bill Walton, his dad, who is in the Hall of Fame, who was with John Wooden and was 21 of 22 in the '73 game. But if you remember with Larry Finch, Mr. Finch helped, Bill Walton off the floor there, and when he hurt his ankle. So just an irony how all things work out. So this is going to be great for us. I'm excited about it. Be great for our student athletes, great for the university. It's going to be great for Luke. Luke is really, really pumped about it. So there we go.
When did it start? The discussion start? How long did it take?
I've been in talks. As I said, I'm not just going to go hire someone just to go hire someone. I want to have the right fit. And yes, this is a calculated risk. I'm well aware of that. Because here's the bottom line, because the lockout could end September 15th, and there he goes. I mean, I'm taking the chance that the risk is that there might not be, the lockout might not end. And with that being said, my thought was I'd be willing to take the risk to try to get the best person I felt for this current right now to help us for this immediate year, and even for the long term. So because, if we do well this year, it's going to help in the long haul as well. So he's going to bring, like I said, the wealth of knowledge that he's bringing from the Lakers, from Phil Jackson, from his time being at the highest level. I mean, he's bringing that and being able to work with our guys. And he's invested in this. I mean, he's excited. I've sent him DVDs. I've layouts of what our team's like. I mean, he's been studying it. He is really, really excited. And so it is a risk in a sense that, the lockout could end any time, but I felt the rewards outweighed the risk, the calculated risk with it. So it's been in talks as of, got heated up in the last, few days. So that's kind of, then, once the board approves it, it's official.
Josh, you got a real Arizona flavor here. Is that a coincidence?
No, I mean, it has nothing to do with Arizona. I mean, obviously, some of the, with the guys that I know mostly as in terms of the time I've been with them is from Arizona, but it's not because of an Arizona or anything like that. This has no direct or indirect reason of hiring. It's just my comfort level, my feel. I've known these guys, and when you're talking about the guys that I've hired, I think the resumes speak for themselves. Are we young? Absolutely on staff. But you know what? I think age is overrated. It's about, you're talking experience. Well, heck, a guy like Damon Stoudemire, 13 years in the NBA as a player, let alone not even talking about what he did as a coach. Luke Walton has already played in 4 NBA finals. You can coach your whole entire life. You can't talk about those experiences, what he's been in those huddles when you're down 3 points in game 6 or game 5 or game 7, what's going on with players and what Kobe Bryant's talking about or this guy's talking about or Gasol. I mean, he's been at that level. So the experience that he's had, I think the age thing is overrated. It's about production, getting the job done, and understanding about, in the end, this is a people's business. You can be the greatest X and O coach, and we've all talked about it's about managing people, getting the most out of them, putting the right pieces in the right spot, and that's why when hiring my staff, I want to make sure I get the right fit, the right guys, because in the end, it's not all about the X's and O's. It's about people. You are dealing with human beings, and it's about finding ways to manage and put them in the spots that need to be put in all areas.
He's going to want to be in good shape if the season does start up again. Is he going to get a run in? I mean, have you talked to him about it?
Yeah,
he'll put up shots.
Yeah, he'll work out in the morning. We talked about that. Luke will work out in the mornings. That was a commitment I gave to him to work out in the early mornings. He'll probably work out with Frank as well too, but he'll do all his basketball stuff. We'll have staff meetings late morning, early afternoon. We'll meet for that, and then we do our workout stuff in the afternoon with with our current student athletes. He'll be required to, he'll head up with the bigs. He'll be charged with the post guys, and he'll be directly involved in that stuff. That I love working with the bigs because that's what I coached Luke at Arizona. So I was dealing with the bigs at Arizona. I love the bigs, so we're going to get involved, and he'll be involved with the bigs, and he'll be required to make sure they're on top of everything. He'll be held the same responsibility and accountability as Coach Stoudemire or Coach Murphy, and he'll do a great job. He'll have to pass his recruiting test, and once he passes the recruiting test, he wants to be involved in recruiting, and I'll have him involved in recruiting. I might bring him on some home visits, let him go see some prospects. He wants to be involved.
You talk about the risk. Do you go in though kind of banking on the lockout lasting a long time?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe the lockout will end. I don't know, but the risk is that it does end, and if it does end, then Luke will leave, and we'll worry about that when that time comes. And if the lockout doesn't end, he's here the whole year. That's just kind of the bottom line. But again, I felt that in the end, the reward outweighed the risk for having a guy like that with that wealth of experience to come in and to help our team right now immediately to help get our guys continuing to get them better, be at a high level from where he's come from and who he's learned under. I think we couldn't pass up on that opportunity.
If you get him from now till December or January, is that, I mean, most people who think about if there's going to be a season, it's got to end by January, sometime in January. Is that a win for the program?
No question. I mean, I think we're going to at least minimum have him through December. I really believe that. So you're talking all September, October, November, December, and by that time, a lot of your stuff's already in place. And let's just say that the NBA came back, Jeff, in January sometime. Luke would then obviously go back to the Lakers. But at that point of our year,
is his departure disruptive?
Well, it's a calculated risk. That's where you go back to. It's a risk. But here's my thing. With our guys, I'm very transparent. So they'll know everything ahead of time. They're aware, and they'll know about it, and it's not going to be a surprise to them. They're going to know. And again, the reward to have them learn from a guy at that level, especially our frontline guys, we couldn't pass up on that opportunity.
Are you relieved that you were able to come to an agreement with that last assistant as opposed to like diving in with just 2?
Yeah, John. Part of it is I didn't have a problem diving in with 2, and with the 2 assistants and myself had no issue with that. And that's just kind of, I was prepared to go that route, but when this came about, I just felt this was a good fit. And again, as you know, I'm not rushing anyone I'm going to hire or in anything that I'm going to do. I'm going to take my time because I feel that is the most important thing to do is to making sure that you make the right decisions, even if it takes longer in time. And I know that wears on people, and it wears on me, but that's just, that's part of being the head coach.
Is there any difference in rules when it comes to bringing an NBA player in and an NBA coach in and then going back? Is there any?
No, I don't know if he can, I know Jeff covers with the NBA. I don't know. He probably can't even talk about the lockout. I don't know how that rule, because he'll be under contract with Memphis. So technically, I don't know how that will be if he'll be allowed to even talk about the lockout per NBA rules. I don't know how that will fly. But with NC2A, the only thing that he'll be required to do is he'll have to follow all NC2A policies and procedures because he will be under contract once the board approves it. and he'll have to follow all the regulations, what's set forth by the NCAA.
Josh, when do you expect him to hit the ground running for you?
He gets in this week. He'll be in later this week, and I expect him to be in. We start workouts on Saturday, so he will be at workouts coaching the guys starting Saturday.
No matter what happens with the NBA season, will he return to Memphis to help out with the team in the off season?
Once he goes back to once the season's done, or whenever our season's done, whatever comes first, the Lakers or the Tiger season's finished, whatever happens, he will then go back to being a Laker full time, and this will just be a 1-year deal at the most or shorter. I mean, that's kind of how it is.